Hello everyone, this walk is becoming familiar. These are great, by the way. Obviously we don't know how long these will still be here, but it's not quite the same as a stand full of fans obviously, but there we go. There's no one else in the stage and I'm probably breaking all sorts of rules here, but there we go. I'll put it back on as soon as I come into contact with anyone. That's where the Brighton fans would have been, of course. Not sure how many there would have been, but they'd have enjoyed that, probably. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, Norwich have lost 1-0. They still haven't scored since the restart. They've only scored once. They haven't led a game since February. Norwich are basically down. I feel like I said that after the Everton game because I think those two defeats were kind of hammer blows really for what Norwich needed to do given the general situation. So we've just got 5 games really to count down and see where Norwich go. I mean, in terms of today, they didn't play too badly. I suppose this is the problem. They're not good enough. So they played okay. You know, they didn't really create a lot. They controlled the game in the way they tried to, and we already know we've had 3 seasons of Daniel and what he wants his side to do and how they base their success on the ideals of having the ball and creating chances, and then you by the law of probability you should make those chances count, etc. And at this level it doesn't work like that. At this level you can't just have more of the ball because it's not enough, and so there are lots of issues. Norwich made a mistake straight after the drink/tactics break, and I think that again, Norwich aren't very good at restarts in general, and that goes back to past seasons as well. So that obviously going under the south stand for those wondering. And it's completely dark. Look at that. It's dark. So dark. I presume I can get out this way. It's the goal came from a mistake, as I said. That's sort of been the key part of the last 2 games. Since the restart, basically, of Norwich just conceding chances and. Sorry, I'm waffling here. I'm not even making any sense. Just the shocking personal, individual errors, which can be from belief and from that shortfall. It can be from quality. It's hard to say. I mean, today it was Tim Closer, who of course is still recovering from a serious injury. So, he's been kind of thrown in the deep end from this, and he would have been really hopeful of being in this situation with a chance to do something this season because he hasn't played at all. But compounding his misplaced pass with coming to sort of meet the counter and then leaving a massive goal behind him. But then of course the crucial point was Trossard and how he completely outdone Ben Godfrey with his movement across the front of him. So that it's far from one error that's led to that goal. And sadly, Norwich can huff and puff all they want to at the moment. They haven't got it in them to score a goal and get themselves back into a back level. Never mind ahead. So yeah. And we will, of course, now be looking primarily at what happens from here going forwards. As I said, 5 Premier League games of the season remaining. Who's still going to be here for the Championship next season? Who's going to be sold? How much for? Who's going to come in for them? Are players who aren't getting any interest going to sulk about it? Do people out there on the pitch feel that they should be getting moves and they aren't? Are people really, really excited about staying and going again in the Championship and getting another chance? So many questions, and you can ask me as many of them as you want, but I can't give you the answers. And Daniel will have to answer his own amount of questions in that as well. Clearly, a lot of comments about the team selection today, and Andre Duda and Josip Trimic both starting. Both were fairly awful, in my own opinion. I can note, Josip Trimic is of course contracted for next season, so theoretically he will be playing in the Championship if Norwich go down. I would anticipate he's on a fair wedge of money at the moment, so whoever does want to take him on, or if he does want to play somewhere else other than the Championship next year, he'll probably have to take a pay cut, I would have thought. So that's an interesting dynamic. I don't personally expect Andre Duda to finish the season here because he's on loan from Hertha. He was never going to stay, and I don't see the point, to be brutally honest. And it wouldn't surprise me if, when the time is right, probably when relegation is confirmed, Andre heads back to Hertha and they say thanks a lot, and then we'll see who else gets a game. And Daniel, I asked him, he's not going. He probably has to be a little bit careful with what he decides to go with here, but quite clearly there will be a chance for players to prove that they want to really be a part of this, or that they can also do something in terms of how their future lies beyond the club, if that's how they see it. So lots of interesting dynamics. I've already said it's such a trying time when you get relegated, and keeping everything together in a coherent fashion so you can do something next season is a big challenge, and it's part of the journey. So Norwich will have to get their heads around that, and hopefully kick on. And I think, because I can see all of the frustration and criticism of Daniel at the moment of what he's doing. I get it. I'm not ignoring it. I think at the moment there's nothing you can do about it in terms of Norwich heading into next season in the Championship, because he entirely deserves the right to pick things up and look at what things look like in the Championship next year. Next season will come with huge expectation. It'll be very different to his first season in the Championship. His second season in the Championship, and it'll be different to this year as well. The challenges will be unique in comparison. But I think, given the bizarre circumstances of what we're playing in right now, there is a degree of mitigation, but that won't be infinite, and there will come a point where things have to prove themselves to be turning out for the better. So that's where I stand on it, if you were interested. Lots of pieces coming up over at The Athletic. We'll continue to turn those around. There was a piece with Todd Cantwell last week, and of course on Melvin City, Daniel Sinani and Sam McCullum, who all start training with the club on Tuesday as their sort of start of mini pre-season, along with the players who are away on loan. So that's an interesting, of course, situation. They can't play until next season, and also they are training separately to the current first team group, although they will still go through the Premier League protocols. So we'll see how things. We won't see them this year, therefore, but it gives them a chance to get good preparation in ahead of next season, which I think will probably start in the middle of September. It'll come around pretty quickly, which is good, because at the moment I cannot wait for this season to end. Norwich head to Watford on Tuesday night, and then they are back here for West Ham on the Saturday. Look after yourselves in the meantime. Throw in any comments you want. I hope you're still enjoying the videos. I'm not sure if they're coherent at the moment. Maybe I need to put the season to bed as well. But either way, I will be back on here very soon, talking to you and myself, as always. In the meantime, have fun, but maybe just away from the football.